fantastic question. How do you deal with information overload and how do you use it practically to learn? Someone told me this. I forgot who. Sorry, but or maybe it was Alex Amosi. He said that the definition of intelligence is that it's the speed at which you change your behavior when you've learned something new. So we say a very intelligent person learns something new, and instantly their behavior changes and improves because of that. So in this case, like by this definition, I would be seen as very intelligent because as soon as I learn something, I'll just go and do it straight away. Because I see that that's the point of trying to learn. But a few years ago, there was more like a gap of like months before I'd actually take action on it. And so when you're in that stage, let's say, when you've learned something but you're not using it, you really feel down because of the amount of people who talk about, content consumption and, you're just procrastinating and stuff. And I used to think the same thing. But now when I look at the group of guys who are in that position where, they're learning, they're watching the self-improvement videos, they're watching the Huberman podcast, but they're not really changing their lives. Now that I've seen it with hundreds of guys, I know the truth. This is still part of the plan. It's like there's stages of self-improvement, and in some of these earlier stages, you've got to be okay with learning, but not really taking action, but getting kind of annoyed that you're not making progress. It's like certain guys, like I had to do that for about 6 months. I see some guys have to do it for about 2 weeks. They have to consume this content, but they won't do anything, and then they start to do it. So it's like, the answer is like, first, just understand where you are in the journey. There needs to be a bit of a gap between learning and taking action. For you, it could be hours, it could be days, it could be a couple of weeks. If you beat yourself up over it, it kind of gets worse. So what I'd say to you is just feel good about the fact that you're simply learning compared to entertaining yourself and watching porn and stuff. Because that's like, bro, we were doing that stuff like a year ago. So when even though, it's like, oh man, I didn't take action today. Bro, like a year ago, what were the things you were watching then? So there's a lot of progress, right? We've got to admit that first of all. We've got to be happy with that. And now the specific actions I use to take action really fast from what I've learned. I learn, like I said to one of the first guys who joined, I learn based on my own curiosity, and my curiosity is on the things that I'm doing in life. So for example, if I'm recording a video on a full guide to becoming more focused, then I start becoming curious about that topic. And so I'll start reading on that topic right now because I'm curious about it. And then naturally for my, for me to teach you, but also for my own benefit, I'll start to actually use what I'm learning in the process of making it. So let's say you're on Adonis School and you're watching one of the course on that I've got of YouTube, right? How to make the cult like followers and everything. And on one of them, I've said that a way to make this cult feeling is to speak in like an us versus them to create an enemy, right? So you watch that and you think, oh yeah, that, you're smiling, so you've seen that. So yeah, it sounds like a pretty good idea. So then simply, you just kind of remember this one small thing. Then the next time that you're about to record, just the one small thing, not like 10 different things. Okay, he said the intro, then this and this. You just think, okay, for this one video, I'm just going to practice the one small thing of, create an enemy. So you think, okay, how could I do that? Maybe you've got a script or you think, how could I do that? This video is on porn. I was just going to tell them, the easy peasy method, no fap and stuff. And then you just spend an extra like one sentence in the video telling them, and all these porn companies, they're profiting from your addiction. There you go. You've just learned. Now imagine, see this process? Do that as often and as fast as possible, as many times. So there's two. One is kind of mental for me. It's kind of, I visualize how I would use it. I think about how I would use it. So I'm watching a video, which is Dr. Andrew Huberman. He's talking about focusing, and he talks about you can focus better if you look very like at a specific point and you don't move your eyesight. It's like, the way our eyes move also helps us focus on work. And he mentions, okay, if you just look at like a dot on the screen, you'll focus better. The first thing that I'll do is I'll almost kind of plan and visualize myself doing that when I would use it. So the first step to practice something, or let's say step 0 is to learn something new. So you get like an aha moment. Okay, so Huberman said to, to look at the dot. Step 2 is to actually visualize. Most people forget to do this one, but you've got to actually like visualize yourself doing it. So then I'm kind of visualizing, let's say I'm watching this on my phone or something, right? I'm visualizing myself back in my computer room, staring at the dot on my screen when I'm doing like the scripting. So it's like I've already practiced once. Now remember, when you practice in your mind, even though this sounds stupid, it's as good or if not even better than practicing in person. Literally, like basketballers, it's more effective for them to practice with their eyes closed, not doing anything, just sat there. They'll make more progress literally doing that than they will going to the court. It's fucking crazy, right?
Adonis School is a private online community that you can join to make friends who are just like you, who are on self-improvement, who are meditating, exercising, delaying gratification, who aren't degenerates. It's the hub spot for all of the people on self-improvement. We're all in here literally doing these good habits, reading these books, having these discussions, talking about this stuff online. I'm active in there. And I think it's an exceptional place for you to just make friends who are similar to you, because a lot of my audience have told me, it's a very common experience, that when you really do start to implement the advice that I give out, naturally you have less things in common with the people that you've known already. And so it's a very common experience for young people who follow my videos who end up just getting lonely because there's no one that you can relate to. Your family don't understand you anymore, and your friends are kind of Jeffries, and you can, you're kind of still attached to those old people who are part of the previous chapter of your life because you just don't want to be lonely right now. And so Adonis School is made for you. It has outstanding customer reviews that are all verified, and you can have a look at that on the website, which I'll link below. There's a lot of quite like high value successful guys in there that I personally added. We're not going to expect them to be too active because they're obviously busy, but I literally just sent the link to all of like my high value successful friends. We've got Sneeko in there, Luke Belmar's in there, and he posts every now and then as well. He posts quite frequently some like good, he calls it data sets. Chris Williamson, Derek from More Plates, More Dates, First Man, and a bunch of like friends I met in Dubai who make a lot of money and stuff. I just sent the link to them so they could join, and then we've got a lot, like everyone's in here, they're all just like you in here. If you're interested to that, you can go to hamza-ahmed.com/school. It's the top link in the description. Just go there right now.